Steph Canabate is a hairstylist, sound practitioner, and the founder of Boheme Dream, a wellness brand devoted to intentional living and creative expression. Through sound journeys, ritual haircuts, and conscious gatherings, she creates grounding experiences that invite reflection, release, and deeper self-awareness. Her work is a reminder that healing doesn't always come from doing more. Sometimes it comes from slowing down, reconnecting, and letting something shift within us. In today's episode, we explore the power of ritual, the wisdom of sound, and what it means to return to yourself on purpose. Tell us how you got started with the sound journey. That's really cool.
Okay, with the sound, I've been attending sound baths for many years. It's just about, I'd say, almost 2 years ago that I decided to start practicing it myself by doing it.
Nice.
The reason is because I've been doing hair for like a long time, since 2013 now. And it was 2 summers ago that I injured my thumb really bad. Like I tore the ligament.
Ooh, that's painful.
Yeah, it was
Ouch.
brutal. And it's my cutting finger.
Right,
like
yeah.
this is the motion of cutting hair.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, and my right-handed and everything. So it messed up my hand. I couldn't work for 6 weeks. And so life was really forcing me to just like pause. And, you know, the first bit was very frustrating, but I then was starting to see like why I was needing to. And then it also made me reflect too on like, am I going to really do just hair like full time for however long, you know? And my mind started going other places, and I just started getting this like feeling and ideas popping up of getting into the sound therapy world, you know? And that's when I was like, okay, you know what? I feel that this is something I'm interested in, and it's feeling aligned, but I wanted to see, like, I'm like, I basically like planted something planted the seed in me, really.
Right.
And then from there, I just waited and waited. I'm like, I'm going to give myself a year. If I'm still feeling this way, then I'm going to dive into it. And that whole year, I just kept feeling it deeper and deeper. And I started doing more research and like reaching out to other sound practitioners that I knew. And I'm like, you know, picking their brain about stuff. And it was just growing and growing. And finally, I'm like, okay, like I want to invest in this and you know, dive into it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
So for those of you who don't know what the sound bath is, you want to explain it a little bit? Because not everyone's aware of
That's
what
true.
it is.
Actually, you're right. I meet a lot of people that are like, what?
Yeah, what is that?
Like, what is that?
You get a shower or something?
Yeah, right? Like,
Sound bath.
it's actually really cool. And basically, it is different vibrations. So it's different frequencies that all in all, like you're basically tapping into your parasympathetic nervous system when you are experiencing a sound journey. And so your body's in a very deep relaxation. Where when we're resting, that's when our body's doing all this like healing and just magic throughout the night, right? So that's what you get to experience during a sound bath. And with me, my intention with my sound journeys is I want to help people feel very grounded and just overall like more balanced when they are finished, you know, the journey with me.
Nice.
And so you're using the bowls, right?
Yes.
So is it a specific like rose quartz or any quartz?
It's
chakra?
a clear quartz. Yeah.
Okay.
Clear
Beautiful.
quartz. That's the ones that I'm using. But essentially they are like this type of glass, you know? So my biggest one is like 16 inches, and that one's like, whoa, it's so powerful. As a matter of fact, that was the one that like, when I went to see the woman, I spent the day with her, and we were going through all these different bowls and these different sounds and octaves, really. And that was that one specifically was like, I can't leave here without this. And from there, she helped me build my set from there. So I have quite the attachment with my bowls, because I have quite a bit, but like I created the set with her. Which beautiful. Was really cool. Yeah, it was a really special experience.
Yeah.
So are they tuned to different keys, like each
They
bowl?
are, yeah.
Nice.
So like different notes, you know,
Right.
like E, D, C.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Is there, like I just know from like rock music, there's a typical key that you stick to, whether it's A or E. Is there kind of that sort of understood?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends really. I love I learned from this woman, Denise. She taught me in a way of like actual music. And then she's like, and then you can add all the other stuff to it, you know? But so there are chords and everything while playing. So it is very specific to like these 3 notes played together or one after the other, and the way you combine them is creating that chord, and that's what's creating the harmony. It's really so cool. Yeah.
In a way, it's kind of like a drum kit, right? But
kind of, yeah.
Have you experienced that before?
I've seen videos. I've never done it.
Oh,
But,
I have to do one time.
Well, yeah, we have
so
to.
Yeah, we definitely have to have you on.
A colleague of mine, Kim, used to do that all the time and go around like yoga places and play during the classes.
Yeah, I used to. So I would do, I'm a yoga instructor too, and I would have like full moon ceremonies, new moon ceremonies, and a lot of like chakra balances, because you can really attune them with the chakras too. So it's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's so healing. Like,
it's awesome.
And yeah, it's just, it's not like a one size fits all, like yoga, like Ayurveda. It's pretty much like what you need at the time. That's the vibration that really connects with you. I think it's such a beautiful, it's a medicine, right?
Yes.
I get different, like I've had some people come see me on different occasions, and each experience they've had is different.
Yeah.
Like one time they're like, oh, I had way more like body sensations. Other times been more like visuals, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
I've actually been practicing a little more of like visualization.
Nice.
Going into like while people are dropping in, I'm like trying to get them to visualize a certain place or certain aura of some sort, or a certain chakra specifically, right?
Yeah, because you have that, you know, the ability to guide people, right?
Yeah.
So it's such a beautiful, beautiful medicine. And I
It
know that
is.
you have an event coming up. Obviously, the podcast will be after that, but maybe, you know, if you have future events, let us know.
For sure, I will. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's the 11th of January.
Yeah.
So super excited to see that. And that's at Alternity. That's on Bathurst. Is that right?
Bloor and like St. George area.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
Okay, so it's a different location.
Yeah, they used to have Alternity at Bathurst.
Yeah, okay.
They
so
just had the shop
before.
there.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but now they closed that one, and it's just their little cafe.
Oh, cool. Okay.
They still got the shop there, and honestly, I love this place.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
I've
got
been there a few
different.
times.
Yeah, right. They have a bunch of different events that go on there.
They do. Yeah, a lot of superfoods. Well, I mean, this is like when I used to live in Toronto, that was my go-to. They have a lot of superfoods, a lot of Himalayan salt lamps, and just pretty much anything that you know, any tools for healing. It's such a beautiful space.
It is.
Yeah.
So this event is on the 11th, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And what type of event is it? Are there more people? What
Yeah,
other
so
artists and other?
It's just gonna be myself.
Okay,
Actually, this is
cool.
gonna be my first like solo group session, which I'm really excited about. I was actually gonna do it with another sister of mine, which she might actually show up as like a special surprise. So I'm hoping, but we'll see if it aligns.
Yeah.
But
Sister as in family sister, or
no, just a soul
Yeah,
sister,
gotcha,
like
yeah.
a soul sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, family. Really.
Yeah.
Soul family.
Yeah,
I got lots of
exactly.
brothers. I only have one blood brother. But
Yeah, right. Like, but yeah, she's
like
definitely
many brothers. Yeah,
she's
That's
a
cool.
sister, and basically, I'm getting everyone. I'm big on like special dates and stuff like that. Like for example, this will be the January 11th portal, the 111 portal.
Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it's really a big time for manifestation. Obviously, you know, like anything about angel numbers and things like that. So this date in particular, just like, you know, in December is like the 12/12 portal, and there's different ones along along the year, right?
Yeah. Like the Lion's Gate too,
yes.
right?
Oh yeah, the Lion's
Gate
was
about that
a big
with
one.
one of our guests, Leslie. Yeah, she's talking about that.
Yes,
really cool.
that's a big one. Yeah. So same kind of thing. This one is just, you know, I want everyone to focus very much on like what they're trying to bring forth, manifest into the year, and like just really set intentions. I think, I don't know, I'm really big on living intentionally in general in my life. So it's something I feel I want to help encourage others to do.
That's beautiful.
I feel it is definitely a big part of my mission here.
For sure. Yeah.
And so that's kind of the theme around this this specific sound journey. And we're going to have a little bit of Blue Lotus tea and just really set the intention and have a little time for, you know, meditation, and then really embodying it with the tea and the sound, and, you know.
You mentioned the mission. What is the mission for you?
It's exactly that. I just feel like it's important for me to live authentically and then also encourage others to do the same. And by doing so, it's living intentionally. Like I'm really tuning into what feels aligned with me, and being intentional in each thing I'm doing, and in the connections I'm making, in my practices, and even my daily rituals, right? Like the things I choose to do per day. And not that I'm perfect by any means. I don't think anyone should seek perfection,
right? Yeah.
You know, but as long as I'm being intentional in what I'm doing, I think that's the mission, and for me, and also to help encourage others to do the same. Yeah. Especially in like the world we live in right now, I feel like we're constantly being pulled away from ourselves, and like looking outwards, and look at that, that it's like you're constantly being pulled away from doing that, you know, from being intentional and like really tapping into what you have inside, right?
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
I love it because it's like started with as a movement probably, but now consciousness is certainly shifting, and the paradoxical thing is exactly what you mentioned there. We live in a time when there's a crisis in terms of our knowledge, right? How we see the world, an epistemic crisis. We see a crisis in politics, right?
Yeah.
People seem to be becoming dumber and dumber, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I'm including myself in there but it happens at a time when we have so much information available to us that it doesn't make sense, right? It's counterintuitive. But on the other hand, we have people such as yourself and many of us that are, making a shift and purposely going in a different direction, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like we're all alchemists at the end of the day. Like we all have this ability, it's just like, I feel for, I don't blame people that are just like, like out of touch with it because of like the system that we're living in. It's kind of designed for that, and so that's what my mission is, feeling like I need to help remind people of this, that you have that ability. And if I can help you tap into even the slightest bit of that by my bowls or, my hairemonies or in any which way I can, then I feel this is, fulfilling for me too.
I love that because we always talk about this in a kind of an apocalyptic scenario, right? And I think that what I like about what you're doing, and many of us are trying to do, is as things happen, and if the world continues to go in the direction it's going, it's certainly a structural collapse, right? A collapse of economic systems, social systems, and so on. But we always think of preparing for that. Again, like those post-apocalyptic movies where people are surviving, and But I think part of preparing for that is exactly going in the direction that you suggest, right? Preparing spiritually and intellectually, right? And physically as well, right? And embodying those practices that are not dependent on the systems that we have going now, right? So I think it's really cool and empowering that a lot of people are doing that.
I know it's really cool. As much as like, you know, you see things like really crumbling on one end, and
Right.
you're like, you know, I see certain people do certain things, and I'm like, oh man, like where is humanity at, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also seeing a big conscious shift on like,
Yes.
I'm seeing a lot of other people, you know, in a way like this awakening of like,
Right.
you know, spirituality. And I think if any time to be like tap into spirituality, whatever that may be for you, I feel like now is the time to do so, considering
100%.
everything that's going on,
Yeah.
right?
You know, you mentioned intention, and I like that because if we can maybe begin to separate the old world that's definitely falling apart and the new world, and hopefully we are embracing it, the new world that is, you know, when we talk about intentions and goal setting, right? Like goals for kind of like, you know, the corporate mentality is you set your goals, you know, and you aim high and you're like really ambitious about things. But intention is different. And I think intention is way better than setting goals. Not that goals are unnecessary, they're definitely necessary.
For sure.
But there's a difference, right? When
Yeah.
you set the intention,
Yeah.
it's you're not setting up yourself for a failure, right? But
Yeah.
you're actually working with, you know, with your inner self and
Yeah.
the tools that you have around you. Yeah.
Exactly, doing the inner work, right? And a lot of it deals with like rewiring, you know, like a lot of like beliefs of how things should be or were before, so that's how they need to be now, and that's not the case. But it's so different person to person. Like, you know, you've got your own whole story of your entire like conscious existence, right? And you as well, and then me as well, like, you know. So it's again like why it's so important to go inwards and figure out what that is. And it's not always pretty either, right? Like that's another thing with this kind of work and stuff too. Like a lot of people think it's all like, ooh, like rainbows and sunshines, and it's not. Like, I mean, it's a lot of enlightenment, but comes from a lot of like dark stuff too that you gotta like, you know, sit with sometimes. And but again, that alchemy, right, where it's like you're taking this and you're transforming it, therefore, you know, evolving from whatever it is you know you internally have to work through, or
I love that because with every you need the darkness to see the light. And you know, it sounds to me like humanity right now, majority of the people are very much in autopilot, you know, go to work, go do this. They have a way of doing things. So, you know, with your and I mean, George and I are pretty intentional with what we do too. What I love about what you're doing, because you could have continued working with people's hair and just autopilot, color, cut, you know, style, next, color, cut, style, next. But you have a totally different, you know, offering, which I love that. So talk to us about hairemony. Like, oh my gosh, like
I know, right?
I love like it when too. When I read about that, I thought that's like, I have a hairstylist I go to once in a while, and she's lovely, and I like her because she's got such good energy and she knows my hair. But what you offer is just like totally different. I love it. So I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, and we're talking about, you know, embracing a life of sacredness. And it's not like that all hippie stuff or religious, right? But there's sacredness in life, right? Life is sacred, and we are sacred as well in everything that we have, including our hair, right? Hair is sacred in most cultures, right? That are not the modern Western culture, right? Where hair is just like a vanity thing, right? So talk to us about the hairemony.
The hairemony. First of all, I have to thank my another soul sister of mine, Lala. She's actually the one that came up with this name when I was explaining everything to her. She's like, oh, like a hairemony. And I was like, I love this. So I bless her. I thank her so much for that. And but yeah, so it's been about 4 years, I would say, that I've started doing that. Thanks to this amazing tattoo artist. She's the one that inspired me because she's been doing ritual tattoos.
Nice.
And then I was like, whoa, like I'm like, I could actually do this with hair too, you know? I'm like, hair tells such a story. Like literally everything you eat, everything you feel, like you can, like as hairstylists, like, you know, I've been able to hold up hair and, you know, you can see like when the hair's been stressed, like the person's been going through stuff and, you know, it's pretty wild. And so the hair tells such a story. And as you know, even some cultures believe that it's like their strength is all in their hair and so on. And so I started to put some do some research to make sure. I'm like, would it be okay to do this? Like, because I, you know, there's also some bad juju stuff. I'm like, is it okay to bury hair and all this and that? And then once I did a little bit of research, I just came up with this whole like experience for you know, including my living intentionally and this like amazing craft I've been doing for many years now, and combining the two worlds together. Because again, when we are in this like autopilot, like let me just go get a haircut, that's all it is, you know. But it's not all it is, you know. It's actually so much more to it. I've had clients come in for like the tiniest little trim and they're like, wow, I feel so much lighter. And so now imagine the power in that if you're actually putting intention with what you want to release when you're cutting even the tiniest bit. You know?
Because I mean, hair, it does have memory. It does have
body
energy.
Part, for sure.
Like there's so much here, right?
Yeah.
So just to chop it all off and just go with it is almost a disservice.
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's letting go of part of your identity, right?
Yeah.
And I love what that you said there. There's so much history in your hair. I call it my tree, right? Because like a tree, you can see the years going by or whatever, and what you've been through, right? My hair has been horrible in times of stress, and then when when you're doing well, your hair follows, right?
Definitely.
It's amazing. So what does a hairemony look like? It's a ceremony of the hair, right?
So yeah, pretty much. And I've started now combining sound with it.
Right.
Which has been a nice little twist since I've started diving into the world of sound. So basically what you can expect during a hairemony is you come in, first thing we do is discuss what you want to do with your hair. We have a usual consultation with that. And then from there, I get you to meditate on what it is you want to now release with this haircut. And in that time, I don't like to rush it. I'm like, however much time you need. And in the meantime, I'm smudging the space. I'm smudging my tools. I'm also doing a little drumming or whatever other sound instrument that I feel is, needed at that moment. I play very intuitively.
Yeah.
And so as they're writing the things they want to release with the cut, that's what I'm doing in the meantime. And once they're ready, I get you to just fold up the paper and hold that with you, as well with like a nice crystal, depending on what crystal I feel is fitting for the session.
Yeah.
And then we do the haircut. I, allow space that if you want to talk about what it is that you want to release, if you don't want to talk at all, that's okay. Like whatever you're feeling called to do. And after the haircut's done, I do a little bit more sound to close things up for that part. And then from there, we do the burning of a piece of paper to release things. Mm-hmm. I give you your ashes in a little envelope with a piece of hair that you pick, and then I pick as well from the hair that we've cut. And then we do a little card pulling at the end too, to just kind of close things off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then depending
tarot cards, right?
I have oracle cards.
Oracle cards?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
There's a difference, right?
There is,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I find tarot's a little more like structured, okay. Where oracle cards are a little more like, they're a little more intuitive and like just give some guidance and perspective, right? And yeah, just a lot more intuitive, I would say.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, I love oracle cards. Yeah. But I find it's a really nice way to like close off the session too, just to give you a little something extra to reflect on, leaving the hairemony.
I love that.
So it's a whole experience when they
it is,
when
yeah,
people choose to do that, right?
Yeah, and I usually book like a good 2-hour session, but I typically don't book anything afterwards just in case, we need more time, or I don't want to feel like, and then even for myself too, like holding space for someone, I never know how heavy it might get. So even for myself, I find it's best to not have anything afterwards. So that way, I have my own way of recharging after,
right.
know.
Yeah. Well, the exchange of energy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it really, it's difficult for people to understand that, right?
Yeah.
Like when you come in contact with somebody else and you have an experience, how that affects your energy.
Definitely.
Right?
And
alchemy.
Yes, definitely. Like we're like alchemizing together, like it's really cool. And I think about that a lot in my day-to-day work with hair in general. Like, I'm working so closely with people's crowns, really, right? Like that's a lot of energy exchange. And it's many years ago that I had to learn how to protect myself, and not to say that people are like, hey, I'm gonna give my stylist bad energy, but sometimes people don't know, like, or aren't really aware of like what they can be putting out, and vice versa. And even for myself, to really check myself when I'm working so closely with people. I've been practicing now at the sink while washing clients' hair, like intentionally, like what I'm transferring to the client, and like what I'm trying to help release, like from that, like for them and from them, in that moment. And it's been really cool to see the reaction of clients, because I'm like, I wonder, I'm gonna test this out.
Yeah.
And even being intentional about something like that at the salon, let's say. So that's been a cool little twist to things as well. Yeah.
What do people usually say? Like, I would imagine, like, maybe because they have that sort of energy they're dealing with, they don't understand at the time. But once they go home and a couple of days go by, did they reach out to you and say, hey, this is... Even
right off the bat, they're like, whoa, like, I feel like I just went through, like, a vortex. Like, it's so funny to hear people. They're like, wow, like, I just went somewhere else, And I'm like, okay, like, this is really cool. And then I tell them. And they're like, wow, well, that whatever that was, that really worked. Yeah. So
substance free, right? Like
exactly. No. This is at like the salon I work part-time, like they're even there, I don't practice any, like, I mean, my clients, I'm very open with them. They all know what I do, and like my practices and whatnot, but there I can only really converse so much with them versus like, I'm not going to be doing a hairemony there, right? Because it's not the space for it and whatnot, right?
Right.
But even there, I've had, in the last year, I had maybe 3 different clients. I was really, really happy to see this, but I had 3 different clients, first time sitting in my chair, and they were like, hey, are you okay if I take a piece of my hair? And I'm like, yeah, I would love that. Please take as much as you would like. They're like, yeah, I want to put it for my garden. Or yeah, I want to. Nice. Another girl, she was indigenous, and it was a big, she hadn't cut her hair in a long time. And so I was really like taken aback and so happy, because I find, the type of clients that I'm attracting, and it says a lot too, right? And in that moment, I was like, wow, okay, like, this is obviously just confirmation to what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
It's confirms a lot for me. So
nice.
That's
it was really cool.
Yeah.
It's you're taking me back so many years. So at was it Wellesley and Young and Wellesley, there was a big hair salon. It was called House of Lords.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I remember. It's not. Right. They closed. So
we're talking in like late 80s.
Oh yeah, and they're like 90s. Busting beats there, all like loud too.
Yeah, and it was cool because I always hated, going to anyone to cut my hair, because first of all, they never get what you're saying. Like, you tell them, oh, I want it like this and that, and they do it their own way. or maybe you're not explaining right, but because this was more like a niche thing where it was all for like musicians and rockers and people with long hair, and they had the music, like loud music blasting and everything, it was really cool because the people that work there were in tune with it, right? And so when you go there and tell them what you want, they kind of, I know exactly what you're talking about, right? Just a different experience. That was
they were around for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember when they closed, but it's been some time now that they shut down.
In the 70s and 80s were big, and the 90s as well, right?
Wow.
It's I guess it goes too with for guys, long hair has it kind of cycles, right? In the 60s, the 70s, it was going. In the 80s, to some extent, right? The 90s as well. But after that, long hair for guys hasn't been. That's
so true. It died out for some time, but now I feel like it's definitely back. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially ever since COVID and like everyone had to grow their hair because they couldn't cut their hair.
Yeah, you're right.
So it really brought it back.
Yeah.
I was like a bunch of clients, like they had all grown out their hair. So when things started to open up for hair, all of them come back with long hair and they actually wanted to keep it. Like a good chunk wanted to keep it.
That is cool.
But like I've never grown it this long, like never had the, in the inclination to, or, and they're like, I'm kind of digging it. Like I'm gonna, like I want to keep this up. Yeah. And some people kept it up for a little and then, went back to their short top,
Yeah, it's funny because musicians, indigenous people, of course. But just a few years ago, some guys were saying, "Oh man, you look like whatever." And I was like, "Who is that?" And it's some football player, because football players, like professional football players, were growing their hair long for a while.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was a really popular thing, and it's just more of a crowd. It was more like, I don't know, maybe into country music and stuff like that, right?
Oh.
So they couldn't really relate to that long hair, but through looking at their idols, I guess they were growing their hair long too. It's just kind of comes and goes, right?
Yeah, it's interesting to see the different hair trends that come and go, right? Yeah.
When's the last time you cut your hair?
Oh, a long time ago. Yeah.
Meaning?
Yeah, right.
I need to keep it, trim it and get rid of it.
No, I'm just saying, because we've been together for 6 years. Yeah. You've always had long hair, but
I used to be much longer, and
really, wow,
it was down to my waist. Like I would sit on it like that. Driving was a real pain because you turn to check one spot. You're like, but had it long for many, many decades already.
Nice. Wow.
But it doesn't grow as fast anymore. It gets damaged. I should take care of it a little bit better.
We should do a hairemony.
I'm gonna come
right?
and do a ceremony with you. Yes,
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that would be like, because it's been so long for you. I think that would be a really beautiful way to.
Yeah, when's your birthday? Maybe we could do it around.
Yeah, it's November 25th.
Oh, so just passed. Okay, well, I mean.
So birthday's a good time to do it?
Yeah, birthdays or even full moons too.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't cut my hair aside. Like I only cut it on the full moon.
Right.
Yeah, typically.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're definitely
full moon's tomorrow.
Huh? Yeah, right?
Full moon tomorrow? A little bit too soon.
Yeah, you're like, wait, like we planted the seed. Now it's,
for sure. Yeah. No, ever since I read about your ceremonies, I was really interested in that. Because if I would do anything with it, it would be something, a ceremonial thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like, even with the tattooing and stuff, like once I did it that way, I'm like, I can't not do it any other way now. It's weird.
Yeah, it's not transactional, right? It's something important. It's part of your body, right? Part of your identity.
So I take the opportunity, like even in like the salon, I talk to clients even if they're not necessarily into that, and I still try to find ways to, at least, inform people and, hopefully switch something in them to switch up their perspective on it and just see like it is a lot more than just a haircut.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you come from a family of musicians, so music has always been important.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Are you a songwriter? Do you write your own stuff?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, I mentioned that because I saw I was looking at your Instagram and you were singing a song there, and that was really cool. Is that one of your songs? Or?
No, it's actually a moon dance song.
Oh.
Yeah, that was taught. Someone taught me it. My friend, she actually sings a lot. She writes her own music too, and
nice.
And she practices a lot of medicine music, and so that was a really beautiful moon dance song. And I'm like, please teach me.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, you mentioned you play other instruments as well, right?
My brother is but our family, whenever we get together, it's just a fam jam. So
that's cool.
We even grab a spoon and a cutting
anything.
board, whatever you can to make music, some type of instrument out of. Yeah, it's really fun. It's nice because we hang out with the family, and music somehow always ends up coming out. So even karaoke, it's really. Yeah. And that's the cool part with the sound bowls. It's just taken my appreciation for music to a whole other level. Because now it's on a vibrational level versus rhythm and words and whatnot. It's taken it even deeper for me.
Right.
Beautiful. I've always been a lot into electronic music, and now I see you go to a rock concert or whatever, and you see the type of the whole people that are all being attracted by the sound, right? It's really cool to then just see it from a whole different light now. With just vibration.
It is, yeah, when you look at it that way, because some people are attracted to music that's a little bit more harder or hard-hitting, and some more mellow, that sort of thing, right?
It's really interesting.
Some that are more attracted to more complex kind of structures, right? Like jazz, for example, things like that, right?
But and it's all a different frequency, right? A different vibration, and everything is in motion, so it makes total sense as to why we are so attracted to certain sounds, or I went a couple summers ago to a festival, and it was a bass festival, and I'm like, wow, there's music here that I've never heard before, and the sound of the bass, and I was like, this is so moving, and it just takes it to a whole other level and of appreciation for sound. I feel like it really is kind of the song of the universe, because realistically the language is, everything's in motion, right? Even if you zoom up to an atom, it's vibrating.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really neat.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know if I read about this many years ago, or I heard it from somebody, that when you are born, each individual, when you're born, there's a specific vibration in the universe or something like that.
I didn't know
so
that.
So it's kind of your signature or something, your sound signature.
What?
And then you move, throughout life with that.
I love that. That makes sense.
Me too, yeah, because
Thank you. I'm going to look into that now.
I should look into that too, because
to find out what it is.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Because then it would be interesting to now connect that to different types of things that you're into, to see is there some connect in that frequency that is that why I'm feeling more attuned to that, right?
Yeah, that's a good point, because usually you think, okay, well, this is why I like this style of music, but it goes beyond that, right?
Everything, yeah.
The type of movement, the type of physical discipline that you adopt, right? Yoga or anything else, right?
Yeah.
That's
it's
so
really
cool,
neat.
Man.
Yeah. I know.
I love music too. I couldn't live without it. It's just.
I know, right? It's medicine.
Yeah, it's
really
medicine. It's healing. It's a form of communication. It's also an inner dialogue. Our inner dialogue is so out of whack nowadays, right?
Yeah, that's true.
People experiencing anxiety and stress, and usually, if you can trace it back to their conversations with themselves, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just, straight up abusive, right?
Yeah.
But music can do that, right? Music it's a dialogue that you're having with yourself. It's kind of like the blues thing. It's what's the way to say it there? There's a call and response, right? And so again, it is a dialogue. Music is a dialogue for sure. And so definitely, Yeah, definitely puts you at peace, right?
Yeah, and that's why, like, I don't know, it's really it's been a really cool world to dive into with the sound baths, for sure. Just given all of that, and you know how it's shifted things for me. It's been a really cool journey so far. I feel like there's still so much more to go. There's always more to dive into and learn. Like I feel I'm this like endless like puzzle that I'm like discovering, and slowly bit by bit as I'm evolving, putting pieces together and seeing the picture, and then you know, practicing this like zooming in and out as well, in seeing the picture from different angles, and having to shift the paradigm sometimes too, right? Yeah,
it's fascinating, man.
Yeah.
So with the singing bowls and your hairemonies, you had mentioned that you need time to decompress. So what do you usually do after you see a client and you need that time?
I usually like do a lot of cleansing, whether that's smudging or I love taking long showers too. That's a really, really soothing and like just very like it's very grounding. I find showering.
Yeah, very cleansing, very grounding. So do you use sage or Palo Santo? Is there a specific
sage? Sage is my go-to. Yeah,
it's very cleansing.
I always carry Palo Santo around with me, but when I'm doing a sound bath or a hairemony, sage is definitely my go-to.
Nice. Yeah. We have a lot of that at home.
Do you? Nice.
Yeah, it's really important to have, because sometimes like I'll be done work and I'm really on edge and I have to smudge.
For sure. Right?
Yeah.
It's
a must.
Yeah.
It's a must.
It's true, because like you know, like again, you never know like what you're picking up too while you're out there and stuff, right? Like I don't leave my house without putting like a protective bubble around me, basically, you know, and it's an important ritual of mine to do so, especially because I'm coming in contact so much with people, right?
For sure. Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, usually I'm a real pain because I make jokes about it and stuff like that. But,
do you?
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Like, kind of hippie stuff. And all that.
He's always anything I do.
I know,
stuff.
to me,
but you've adopted it too.
And I live the same way. I mean, this is the cool thing about rituals, that they're necessary. They're part of life, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a matter of observing, because people are, whether it's your coffee in the morning, that's a ritual,
exactly, right? That alone, like you could even be intentional about that, you know, like, before you take that first sip of your coffee, like, speak into it.
Exactly.
Like, what do you really want to embody that day? Like, you can set an intention right there and have your own morning ritual. Right.
And these are all concepts too. I'm big into philosophy and Eastern philosophy. These are big concepts like mindfulness, for example, right? But through my lens as a martial artist, all these things that you learn, they're not just for fighting and defending yourself, because it's all from Buddhism and Eastern philosophy.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So the whole idea of stepping back, even in the middle of a fight, when chaos it's happening. You step back to take a deep breath and to recharge and assess the situation, right? It's called kamai. And there's so many other things that I've learned through martial arts that are exactly, kind of the same aspects of, the rituals, right? Like to protect yourself and things like that.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I have this that I got in Thailand.
Okay.
And it's a
So
different prayer. And a lot of Muay Thai fighters get it, and it is for protection, and they get like crazy this and many other on their backs and stuff, and it's due to like for protection, and like a lot of these fighters, it's all prayers,
right?
Different rituals.
Yeah, Muay Thai is like super ritualistic, right?
Yeah.
They do the little dance and stuff like that when they come on the ring. Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah,
right?
But I feel like you can find a ritual and create rituals in many things on your day-to-day life.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. Which brings me to the the subject of dogs. You're a dog parent as well, right?
Yeah. Next time for sure. I'm gonna bring Sol.
Yeah, you should. Totally should.
So
We're gonna have
a little dog party.
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole episode about dogs. But how so this is your little guy, and you've had him for how long?
She's a girl. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But she's the way it happened. It's really interesting. I was at a client's home doing a hair party, and she has a few rescue dogs herself, and she was showing her friends a picture of 2 pups that her friend reached out to her that she works with this adoption agency, and she was showing her friends, and then comes around to me, and I was just like, whoa. I saw her, and it's been like, I'd say probably like a year that I was ready to get another dog, because I had one before, but he was 13 and he passed. I had to put him down.
Sorry, man.
Thanks. Yeah. So it took some time. Like for a good while, I was like, no chance I'm gonna get another dog. Like I can't do. Like it just hurt, right? So I was finally ready. Matter of fact, I was even asking him. I'm like, can you please send me a dog? Like I'm ready. I'm ready for another dog. And it's kind of wild because when I picked his date, it was the new moon of August of 2022, and which was on the Lionsgate portal, and everything is right. That's definitely a topic for like another time maybe. But it was wild because then when I saw Sol, she showed me the picture, and that same weekend,
Sol,
Sol, yeah.
Right. That's so cool.
When I saw her picture, it was literally the same, falling on the new moon of this past August, and the same weekend and everything. So it was kind of wild to align the two, because I saw her little eyes and I was like just taken aback, and even how everything transpired after that with my friend Crystal, who now adopted Sol's sister Luna, which you two met Luna and Sol, right? So I got Sol for I think it was about a month I had her already, and my friend Crystal, we're video calling, and she's like, oh, you make me want to have a dog. Can you imagine I get a dog and I name her Luna? And then we were both in La La Land about it. It was so funny. And then next thing you know, literally the same day, the adoption agent lady, she reaches out to me and she's like, hey, we just flew Sol's sister into Canada, so she's here. If you know anyone, sends me all these pictures. And I'm like, no way. And then you saw Luna.
Yeah.
She's all silver. Yeah. And she beautiful. Looks like the colors of the different phases of the moon, right?
Yeah.
And then Sol being the golden, it's just, it's kind of wild how it worked out. But, and in terms of her name, I was really torn on it, because I kind of was deciding whether to call her Sage or Sol, but I'm like, Sol just feels it just felt really right. And again, I'm going, this is what's navigating, right?
Yeah.
It just felt right. So I was like, no, Sol it is. And then what came about after, and I have a very deep connection with Mexico, and it just so happened she's from Mexico as well. So it's kind of, that part was really interesting too.
So Pumpkin, she's
really?
from Mexico.
Yeah, she's from Mexico.
Yeah. So it's funny because I refer to dogs as it's my teachers, right? They're not just, and they teach us so much. But come to think about it, the reason we met and we're together today is because of Sol.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Because that's the first thing I saw your parents, of course, but I just my entire focus was on her, right? And she's most adorable.
And then Luna came out too.
They were together, such a character.
Yeah, Sol was we saw her and then we saw Luna. We're like, oh my God, there's another one.
Right?
Yeah.
Sol's she's really interesting. She's very shy, and just her way of I don't know, I feel she's an old soul. I'm this dog's lived a million lives for sure. It's kind of wild. Yeah, and this is the feeling I get off of her, and
for sure.
it's really cool, and I agree so much on that. I tell her all the time, I'm like, who sent you?
Yeah, I love it.
For sure, yeah. No, definitely, man. Yeah, they're angels, right? I call them angels.
Yeah.
Angels without wings.
I love that. I say that all the time too. They really are. Like, how lucky are we to have like our little guardian angels here with us, like in the flesh?
Oh man,
you know,
we change your life.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
We had four little guys, and then the last guy, he was from Mexico, Teo. He passed away.
Oh, I love that name.
Teodoro.
Yeah, it was Teo for Teotihuacan. He was a little thing, but he was big personality. And we said no more. And then a neighbor was for fostering Pumpkin, and she couldn't anymore, so Pumpkin chose us.
Wow.
And then
we
had a neighbor on the 22nd of December, so right after the solstice, the winter solstice, reach out saying, hey, we're looking to surrender Ollie. Are you interested?
Whoa.
And went from no more dogs after Teo to now.
Yeah, but they were sent to you for sure. Like by the sounds of
biggest
it.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I said that. I'm not gonna have dogs for the rest of my life.
Yeah, we're not gonna say that anymore. Because
it's my hidden mission.
Yeah, so this is Ollie, our new addition. Oh, and we love him to pieces.
A big connection with Mexico?
I do, yeah. I've been going for like about 4 years now, like every winter. And I mean, I've gone before too, but they were like very short trips. And
where do you go?
Typically Playa del Carmen.
Okay.
But last winter and now soon I'm gonna be going back to Holbox, a little island.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really special place.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually planning to go for a chunk of time. So I want to start the process of getting my temporary residency there and stuff.
Good for you.
That's cool.
Kind of start doing the half and half here and there, you know?
Oh, ideal, man.
I'd love
that.
That's the life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's time, you know? Like, I feel like I've been kind of building up to it, and, you know, I got to just, like, do the leap now.
Yeah.
Make it.
It's sometimes just a matter of just taking the leap, right?
That's what I want to do.
Just what?
That's what I want to do.
Right?
That's what
I love Mexico.
So we're going to meet up in Mexico next time?
She's more of a Mexican. Like, you've been to Oaxaca. And
I love Oaxaca. It's so beautiful there.
Yeah. I love it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I mean, the power of living somewhere where, and the language has a lot to do with it. Did you speak Spanish?
I do,
okay,
yeah.
So
thankfully,
helps,
my
like,
parents,
all three we do. And
hey, really?
Yeah, we're all fluent.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a podcast in Spanish.
Yeah.
I can remember it. But
that's awesome.
It makes a difference because there's so many things that you try to explain sometimes in Spanish and you use in English, or the other way around, right? And sometimes if something was more, it makes sense in one particular language, right? So it's really cool to have those two. But that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. I love Oaxaca too. It's been a tough, like, spend more time in the Caribbean because like that's where more of the people that I know, but like when I went to Oaxaca, I just it hit different. It hit really different.
Oh, it's beautiful there. I love it. I love it.
You're gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, we must go.
Yeah. When was the last time you were there?
2018, I think.
Oh,
it's been a while. It's been too long. I'm way overdue.
Oh yeah. You gotta go for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. No, definitely something. Get away from the cold too, man.
Yeah. Winter started early this year.
Yeah, it did.
It's been brutal so far.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this new chapter, and setting some like real roots. There.
It's so funny you mentioned that. That was going to be my next question. What's the next chapter? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to going to Holbox, and like I have a really sweet little community of friends there, and I love that we're all into the same things and everyone's like doing just what they love there, you know? And so I'm ready to start channeling into the magic that is at this island. And honestly, deep down, I'm such an island girl. Like I love the pace. I love how just small, and like the beaches there are beautiful, and it's really
not by the clock, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's very a big contrast to the city life, and as much as like I have a soft spot for Toronto, but I do find myself like with time and just like what I do, it's a very the pace there and like the density too. It can be a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I think it's time. I feel like I would have loved to leave earlier, but I'm trusting in the timing of how this is flowing, and I feel this is exactly how it's supposed to be. And next season, like next winter, I can leave a little bit earlier.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Cool.
Love it.
Well, it's can't believe it. The hour's gone by already.
Wow.
So we're gonna have to have you back.
Yes, for sure. I would
cool with
love that. Yeah.
We'll talk about more about.
I feel
dogs
like
and,
we could just keep going and going with these
Yeah.
different topics.
Maybe we can do a sound thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that
should.
would be
That
great.
would be really
Yeah.
cool.
That'd be really cool if we can
Yeah.
do that. Yeah. Before I let you go,
Yes.
so we're our podcast is about wellness in general,
Yeah.
and that's such a big concept, right? And we're very critical of the wellness trends, right? Because everything fits under wellness.
True. Very
So-
true.
To leave with a question for you, what is wellness for you? How do you see wellness? How would you?
I would say wellness is definitely, I guess it does differ person to person, but for me, I feel wellness is finding your, or finding it or creating your peace amongst all the chaos. You
Love
know,
that.
that's
Yeah,
how I see it.
finding
for
your
sure.
harmony. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Love it.
finding your
And
harmony.
peace. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
You know, because I feel like this is truly what it's about. Because like, there's always gonna be that, there's always gonna be turbulence around, and it's what you gotta find that like that sense of calmness in all of that, right? That center.
For sure.
Yeah.
So needed, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank
Really
you.
enjoyed
So
our
lovely to finally
conversation.
meet
Yeah, and
you.
looking forward to our next.
Yeah, me too.
For sure. Awesome.